Thank you, Elvin, and thank you, Tanya, and County Executive Dammeier, and Council Members Hitchin and Kruver. Thank you so much. I'm Sinden Jitsi. I'm the Deputy Director of the Tacoma-Pierce County Health Department. And before I get into the work of the Child and Youth-Centered Communities Visionaries, I want to give a shout out to our new Director of Public Health, Chantel Harmon-Reed. Chantel, stand up and wave. So excited to have Chantel on board. I think it's your 5th week maybe, and already she has demonstrated her commitment to children and youth in Pierce County. So this is an exciting time at the health department. I've been honored and excited to be a part of the CYC Visionaries group, which meets monthly to really help move this work forward, not only in thinking strategically and in long-term ways about how to invest in our children and our youth in Pierce County, but also in ways that are fun and child-centered. And we're going to talk about one of those, again, that you all can participate in just a couple minutes. There are 24 CYC Visionaries. Many of them are here with us today. So if you're a CYC Visionary, please stand so that we can recognize your work in this area. I know you're out there. Thank you, Visionary Group members, for your time and commitment and thinking about what makes Pierce County the best place for children, youth, and young adults to grow up. So over the past year, CYC Visionaries have developed some foundational documents and processes and tools to help move this work forward and help make it sustainable. The group has also done a lot to listen to community voices, to community members, to youth, and to organizations that serve youth in their communities. We've invited several businesses to join the CYC movement in Pierce County. We've raised funds to develop a website, a CYC website, that will share our vision for this child and youth-centered Pierce County and be a resource and guide for you all and others looking for information about how to move this work forward. And we've collaborated, reflected, ideated, so excited about this path forward. So we have several projects coming in 2024, and one of which takes a long-lasting Tacoma tradition and Pierce County tradition and refreshes it in kind of a playful way. And we invite you to help kickstart this project called CYC Rocks. So on your table, you all have bags. You have a little stone or rock, and you have a couple of paint pens. And we invite you to create a CYC rock and hide it somewhere in Pierce County. We hope that these rocks spread a little bit of joy and play in our communities throughout the summer. And you can take these bags with you or create throughout the event. And you'll see more of these coming at different events. So invite you to help us spread some joy. And now I'm going to turn it over to CYC Visionary Adam Otter.
Thank you, Sinden. As Sinden alluded to, the Visionary Group over the last year or so has been working diligently to chart a course forward, because planning a child and youth-centered initiative and movement, one of the challenges is that it's not prescriptive. And one of the most opportunistic things about it is that it is not prescriptive. And so part of the work has been defining what does it mean to be child and youth-centered, what does that look like? And last year at the 2023 Symposium, we took a step forward by creating a brand and revealing that brand, which you see reflected here on the screen, on the patches at your tables, on the banners that were created last year. And in many ways, this brand reflects the very core attributes of the movement. For example, it's adaptable. We can recreate faces in all kinds of different shapes and sizes and colors. It's playful, brings a smile to your face as you see the CYC letters emblematic of a face that's smiling back at you. It's community informed because people can draw and add their own elements and bring characters to life. And it was lovely to see in the slides earlier today new drawings that had been created and reflected back by the community. It's empowering because kids get to see themselves reflected through that. And it's equitable because you get to see all kinds of colors represented. It's also impactful because I know for a fact that if you put this on some of your attire or backpacks, it instantly raises your coolness factor by at least 5 points. And it's joyful, which plays a huge role in kids' mental health. And also it is both enjoyed by kids and adults alike. And so those values have been core to the things that we've been examining because we know that this is not starting from scratch. We know hard work has already been done in the years leading up to this and will continue to be done by our community partners and people who aren't necessarily even in touch with CYC yet. And so what we want to do as well is celebrate those and acknowledge and recognize who those people are. And so at your tables, you all have these cards here, and this is an opportunity to find your favorite examples of child and youth-centered elements, initiatives, businesses, organizations within your community, and celebrate those folks and driving the child and youth-centeredness that we encourage you to celebrate in your community. So either on this card or scanning the QR codes on the card that's elevated there, you can use that to bring to mind and bring to attention those who are doing this great work already in our community so that we can grow our Rolodex, so to speak, of all the wonderful things that are being done. So with that said, I want to turn it over to Vanessa Adams from Kids Mental Health Pierce County, who's going to celebrate just one example of a CYC organization that's doing some wonderful work.
Thanks, Adam. I'm actually going to celebrate two. We have many, but we're going to celebrate two. As Adam mentioned, we want to shine a light on two examples, and the first one is Game Time. Game Time is a sports apparel store, an AAU basketball organization, and now a nonprofit, the Game Time Way. Darren and David, the founders of Game Time, are born and raised Tacoma. They're from here. They saw what they needed in the community, and they decided to create that. Game Time embodies CYC in so many ways. Their store is fun. Their teams are centered on being inclusive and adaptable. But the real heart of why they embody CYC nature is the way they empower their youth, the way they support their young people, and the way they care about their mental health and the holistic way that they show up in the community, focusing and centering on them, incorporating events and resources into their programs in every step of the way. Darren and David have fostered a culture where they live all their lives. They have 30 coaches where they are consistent, safe, and healthy adults, where they have created opportunities for their coaches to become trained in mental health first aid so that they can show up in a way that people were not necessarily able to show up for them. They understand that having equitable access, a key component of the CYC, the heart and spirit of the CYC, to support them, the young folks within their community, is incredibly important. Building trusted relationships, being one healthy adult. It takes one healthy adult, so focusing and centering those young people for them. So we just want to thank Game Time. We're so excited and proud that they are represented in CYC organization and that they've been doing it for a long time, just as others have. So welcoming and inviting others to join us who are already doing the work. So thank you, Game Time. And to highlight that a CYC can look very different. They can be organizations, nonprofits, parks, places, and spaces. Our second CYC in the community spotlight is Simple Goodness Sisters Soda Shop. This is a farm-to-table cafe, tasting room, community hub in Wilkeson, started by two sisters, Belinda and Venice. They saw a need for a space that was inclusive for caregivers and their children, where they would be excited to go, where moms could enjoy social time, a delicious drink where their kids can hang out and play. A section of the cafe has things just for kids, games, books, chalk wall, child-sized seating, where they train their staff to support young folks and to be inclusive, to set boundaries, but in a healthy and respectful way. They're intentional about children in their entire space. They host play dates and family-friendly trivia nights, always offer conversations with their staff, with the young folks, learning to support kids, children, youth, and our community. Their wisdom for businesses that are interested in becoming more child and youth centered is that it's okay to strike a balance between what works for your business model and what's typically considered child friendly, and that if you build something intentionally, people will come. Simple Goodness Sisters Shop is CYC because it is filling a need for connection and community and play for the children and caregivers in Pierce County, one of the rural communities. Thank you, Simple Goodness Sisters Soda Shop. I'm going to turn it back over to Elvin.